Hey there! Hope everyone's doing good. So it's Monica with Refining Grace Counseling. Back again for another video. I was thinking of like the purpose on why I wanted to create this channel and who I'm, speaking to and things like that. I think one of the purposes is, I want to help people kind of avoid, if they can, some of the mistakes, or be able to maybe help validate some people out there on how they're feeling, how how to work through it. Like I could tell my own experience, or like the experience, of other people that I've met with. Of course, without giving any identification on that, but just working through life and different things that we all deal with, and how I'm further along in life, and so how I've dealt with things. Like one thing that I thought would be useful to talk about is just rejection or perceived rejection. I dealt with that a lot when I was younger, um, and how I overcame that. And so I remember one time I had a roommate, and I had lived with her for about a year. This was at a time when I was kind of like at a lower point in my life, and so. But she wanted to move. She wanted to be near her family more, and so it actually was not a rejection of me. It was that she was wanting to move on in life. I mean, like, rejection is kind of like when maybe like two people's paths are not aligned or not coming together. And so we had peacefully lived together. I was happy with the arrangement we had. And so when she wanted to move out and do her own thing, I at the time I was really devastated. I didn't know how to move forward. I didn't want to I didn't have a person lined up to move in with after that. And at that time period, I wasn't making the most money ever. And so anyway, it was devastating at the time. I ended up, after we parted ways, I ended up having my own apartment for a while. But so there can be perceived rejection as well. So even though that was not her rejecting me, I took it as rejection, and I think it kind of fed into like the unworthiness I was feeling about myself at the time. Like unworthiness can be a feeling, like it can be like a stumbling block. It can be like a source of identity that people take on, and yeah, and so I had to work through it. I mean, it wasn't necessarily during that time period, but on how I worked through it throughout my life was just knowing that what's going to be there for me will eventually come. And it will eventually come to you. Like if you are experiencing rejection or perceived rejection right now, knowing that sometimes doors close, maybe we don't know why, and it feels like a big loss. It feels like maybe, how am I going to recover from this? How I don't have, maybe feeling like you don't have the resources, or maybe it feels like at the time opportunity is not opening up, but what is meant for you will show up, but it's being in alignment on what that could be. And so I want to encourage you today, like if you are feeling that way, knowing that, like, okay, for whatever reason, this is not meant for me, and what's meant for me will show up. And it may look different than what you think it will, but trust in the process and moving forward with life. And so that's what kind of stood out today that I wanted to share with you. Please comment below if that's something that you are experiencing, or if you've had something like that happen in the past. And please press on the subscribe button, because that's how these videos get further out in YouTube land. But I appreciate your time, and I look forward to more videos. Thank you.